Quick video here. Marcus Fresh, Teachable Tuesdays, to motivate you, encourage you, and inspire you to be a better you. This is the question of the day because I've been seeing this a lot lately, and I want to clear some things up based on what I used to think and versus what I think right now. Is blocking, from a man's perspective, a non-masculine thing to do? You know what my answer is? No, it's not. And here's why. But before I get into here's why, I used to think that. I used to be like, man, any kind of something that a woman would do if you blocking somebody as a man. And I'm sorry, y'all, but the older I get, the more I realize one very vital, important thing, and that is price can't go on a peace of mind. It can't. Y'all have heard that saying time and time again, but also I'm gonna add on to that. Out of sight, out of mind is a powerful thing. Now, just because something or someone is out of sight or out of mind doesn't mean you don't need to put the work in to improve and heal, because that's just as important. Ladies and gentlemen, therapy is very important, by the way. Just put it out there. But anyways, I've had to learn to realize that a lot of the relationships that I've been in, or potential relationships or cycles, when things were going wrong, it was my fault. And it wasn't necessarily anything that I was doing wrong per se as a person, but I was tolerating behavior that should not have been accepted. And there were oftentimes yellow and red flags that I ignored because I just wanted that person. Unfortunately, that's one of the trade-offs of genuine desire. I've talked about this channel a million times. When you really like somebody that much, it gets to a point where you start making excuses for them that you wouldn't necessarily make for other people. Just putting it out there. It's a dangerous flaw, right? So I had to sit down, kind of take a step back and realize that, man, you know what? I think it gets to a point that people have to understand that sometimes everybody can't come with you on your journey. And it also gets to a point where I don't want to necessarily see. I don't want you to necessarily see, where I want you to see where I'm going at my journey. Now, do I think sometimes people block a little bit too easily? Yeah. I think the only time you should block somebody is A, if they're disrespectful, or B, it's getting to a point where things are just getting out of hand in terms of how they treat you and them wasting your time. At that point, I will never knock somebody for blocking. In fact, recently I've had to block several people on social media and numbers. And it's not something I'm proud of. It's just something that had to be done because my time was wasted. Even though I take accountability of staying in that position to where you had the opportunity to waste my time, you still wasted my time, right? And it's one of those things that when you sit back and you realize this person is not contributing to what it should be, you begin to realize that it's not necessarily a bad thing that they're out of your life. Now, I'm not saying go block crazy, because some people hit that block button like crazy. Like they date somebody and all of a sudden when they break up, they want to block them immediately. No, I'm not saying that. Because I do think genuinely there are some people that probably shouldn't be blocked. I think the people that you ended on good terms with should not be blocked, right? And when I say good terms, I mean more so, because people are like, well, what do you mean good terms, Marcus? If it didn't work out, how's it good terms? Well, it didn't work out but you were still amicable about it. I wouldn't say block those people, just maybe distance yourself, maybe unfriend, even. I can understand that. But I think for people that have continuously wasted your time, that were outright disrespectful, or even, God forbid, violent, yeah, those individuals you should block. And that goes for men too, because as I stated in my video last week, kind of, sort of, I alluded to it, and we're going to have a conversation about it this upcoming Friday, so make sure you stay tuned. But oftentimes, we take more than what we should. And that goes for both men and women, right? And as I always say, definitely pray about it. Really try to figure out if that's the route you should go. But sometimes you have to do that in order for you to understand that it's time to move on. Now, I'm not saying block people out of guilt because you don't want to face the music if you were wrong. If you were wrong, go ahead and hold that L up and take that lesson, because accountability is important. But if you did everything in your power you could do, things didn't work out, you felt like the person was just being over the top and not in a good way, and you feel like you need to block that person to protect your peace of mind, do it. Fellas, block that woman if you need to. Block her. Capital BLOCK, capital HER. Block her. Okay? I promise you, if you're doing the right thing, you ain't gonna lose no sleep. You might feel a way about it at first. I know I most certainly did, because I do have a hard time letting stuff go. But sometimes in order for you to move forward, you gotta shake off the past, And if God truly has a blessing for you, which I believe he has a blessing for all of us in different shapes and forms, then you also have to understand that in order for you to receive that blessing, you can't mess with things that used to have you stressing. I'll say that one more again for the people in the back. In order for you to receive God's blessing, you can't be worrying about things that had you stressing and second guessing. That's your lesson for the day. All right. Bars on bars on bars. Anyways, this is Marcus Frazier, Teachable Tuesdays, here to motivate you, encourage you, and inspire you to be a better you. Love you guys. Hope you have an amazing day. Sorry, this sun is just getting all in my face, man. See you guys soon. Peace.